So, peace begins with a smile, and I actually forgot to write down who actually says that, but I'm pretty sure peace and world peace wouldn't be brought about with a smile, but in sound mind, you know, maybe that'll help you self-medicate with releasing oxytocin or something. Anyways, so the last horror game of this Halloween recording has a lot of like solid puzzles. It's pretty much the opposite. It's kind of funny because this week started with Rise of Insanity, where it's like an intense action walker, and then we're ending it with In Sound Mind, where it's the opposite. It's like puzzle intensive, it's slow moving, and it's more cerebral than the Rise of Insanity. So we've gone full circle here unintentionally. It's just how it happened. So you're playing as a counselor named Desmond Wales. He has to relieve the trauma that his patients have been suffering. Now the game doesn't really explain this at the beginning. So each level is a different tape, so it's got a different scenario, different enemies, which is really cool. So these are all like the past tapes, so I guess you're in his mind, I'm not sure. And so these stories, they're all interconnected, and you're supposed to bring peace to these tormented clients in the game. So after playing the Rise of Insanity, where the horror portion is fast-paced, a lot of jump scares, a lot of movement, running or sort of walking from room to room, this one starts very slowly. The combat itself is very clunky. You have nothing at first, and then you find a flashlight, and then you're just picking up random items. So it sort of felt like, to me, Resident Evil without the zombies or any enemies, because it just starts off so slowly. And I just didn't really get into the scary part of the game because there were so many puzzles at the beginning, which I felt like maybe that works for other people. That doesn't work for me, especially at $40 for this game. Yeah, it's a lot more slower paced. Focus is more on ambience and mood, rather than gore and intensity, or the jump scares like Rise of Insanity. The story apparently is the strongest part of this game. I feel like the walking around is kind of monotonous. It looks pretty good. Like some of the sort of LSD parts which drain your psyche, that's the best I can describe it. Those look good, but like the rest looks pretty straightforward. Yeah, I couldn't even get into it like I wanted to. The design decisions of like you can only have a flashlight out, or eventually I didn't get to that part, having the pistol or whatever else you get later. I feel like they're trying to do that so that you feel, more vulnerable, but I feel like it's also a poor design decision, kind of like Doom 3 was, with the lack of a flashlight built into the pistol. I didn't get that far, but I'd give it like a 7 out of 10 because it seems like it has a lot of potential, and apparently gets more interesting, but it definitely needs smoother controls, and it just takes too long, in my opinion, to get interesting for you to want to keep progressing. I read some reviews of someone saying, hey, I couldn't stop playing for 2 days. I'm like, wow, this guy must be like a million times more patient than I am, and I'm pretty patient, so maybe he's a monk. Yeah, I feel like people love the concept and they love the slow pace, and I have no problems with slow paces. I found the Doom movie interesting. A lot of people found it boring and were falling asleep. So I still think that a monk played this game because I just found it too slow. Yeah, I just need something more actively engaging. So I'd say check it out if you want something slower moving. The way it looks on Steam, it looks like more of an action, fast-paced, but it's really not. I felt like it's not like that at all. Try one of the other horror games, because this one seems to be like a slow mover, and takes its time. So anyways, hold on to your sanity. You need that. Bye.